Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a kit refurbishment, replenishment, refresh, reveal, whatever. I'm taking a kit that I built, I think, 4 months ago. I planned to use it for the last 3 months of 2023. Ended up using it all of January as well. And I didn't use it that much, maybe only on Scrap Backwards Mondays. Um, so I needed to revisit it. I needed to see what's in it, and I needed to put some things in it in different places. So I'm going to kind of go through pile by pile and tell you what I'm going to do with these things. I'm going to first go through what the stuff that I've pulled out that was in the kit. The first major category of stuff coming out were all the Christmas things. I had put in all of the Christmas themed papers and embellishments that I got in the Pink Fresh warehouse box, and also in Mind the Scrap kit. So all of that is out. That's going in my Christmas stash, and that'll be handled separately. Next, I have this little set of inks and this stamp, and I'm going to put this with my inks and put this with my stamps. These came in Mind the Scrap kit, so those go someplace else. I have a single place that I store all of my enamel dots. So these enamel dots that came in a Mind the Scrap kit will go right here, and they're easy to grab anytime I want to use enamel dots, including, so I consider all of my enamel dots, all of my Bramble Fox stuff, all of my jewels, and all of my sequins to be in my kit all the time. And flare, same goes for flare. So next thing is this batch of ribbon. I'm going to put that with my ribbon. That doesn't need to be in the kit, and again, if I want ribbon, I can do it. This is a little 6x6 pad of all kinds of different colors of wood grain. It's the most incredible little pad. And then this is a Pink Fresh pad. I'm going to put these with my 6x6 pads because I'm part of a group that does, it's called For the Love, or Mad About Mini Paper Pads. And we do a hop once a month, so it's trying to kind of encourage using 6x6 pads, and because of that hop, I actually use them fairly often, but they don't need to be in my kit. I can go grab one when I decide that I want to do something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go through these bits that were in a certain spot, and I'm going to put them back in there. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing. You can't. Let me turn it more so that you can see the box. This is a set of thickers. They're glittered, and they have kind of everyday magical kinds of sentiments. And I haven't used them much. They came into Mind the Scrap kit, but I like them, and I can see using that camera, for example. This is a Flower Market set of frames from Pink Fresh. These are some flat cardstock stickers from Pink Fresh. Another set of Pink Fresh stickers. This is a set of alphas that came in the Pink Fresh box, and I'm going to put it with alphas. I'm going to keep alphas separately, and again, I can go pick alphas as I need them. Don't need to have them in the kit. So I'm going to put that in the goes somewhere else pile. This is from Cocoa Vanilla Studios Happy Days, and I've been working on this. I've pretty much used quite a few of these. So I'm going to keep that in the kit because I would like to kill it before the end of this next session. Same with this set of phrases, scripty phrases. This is an alpha that I'm going to put with the alphas. Set of stickers. These are smaller things. I'm looking for the 6x12 stuff. This is a set of frames from Garden Bouquet. This is kind of a fall themed, but it has some things that could be used every day. This is Lovely Blooms, cardstock stickers. This is a chipboard from 49 and Market, Vintage Artistry Anywhere. And it's travel themed, and I have all my other, this came in a Mind the Scrap kit separate from where I got my other Vintage Artistry Everywhere supplies. So I'm going to put this back with my 49 and Market, in my 49 and Market cart, and I'll keep that separate and outside of the kit. Again, this is an alpha. I'm actually going to store this with all of my other, this is Paige Evans. It's Sugar Plum Wishes, but the colors are such that they could go with many of her collections. So I'm going to put those in my Paige Evans cart. And this is going to go with alpha, so not in here. These now are the smaller sticker packs, largely Pink Fresh. This is an ephemera pack from Pink Fresh. These are acetate ephemera. Another like a puffy stickers, some more stickers. And this is something from Simple Stories. These all can stay, and I will make an effort to go to them for embellishing. I'm also keeping this washi tape that's from the Pink Fresh collection that didn't have any pattern paper. And you can do so much with this, but I haven't touched it in a while, so I really need to use it. Now, you've seen me pull out little containers like this that have miscellaneous things in them. This one has envelopes, a lot of from Pink Fresh that match a lot of the stuff I have in there. Then there are some Project Life cards that I have no idea where they came from or why they're in there. And then some other ephemera kind of down in here. This one has mostly tabs and tags, but somehow I've got some clothespins in there. These are florals from, let me kind of do this so that you can see that better. These are florals, mostly from Pink Fresh, but some fussy cuts. I have a whole slew of Flare Hut Flare that are part of a new venture that Adam's involved in, where they either are or will be available on Etsy. And I really haven't used those because I was kind of waiting on direction from Adam as to when he was doing a launch and so on and so forth. But they're beautiful and I want to use them. So, and I have some things that are the miscellaneous things that I use on the kids' pages and for John pages. These are some pretty sunflowers, and these are bees and ladybugs. I'm going to put those in the container that I go to for these things, for such things. And I will probably cut them down so they fit a little bit better in the container. These are avocados that are waiting for Calvin Ball in March. And I'm actually going to put those kind of in the same area because they won't be, I probably won't use those until then. These are some little tiny wood veneer that I got from Shadney. One pack is little cameras that I ordered, and one pack is a set of gift ones that she sent me. So I'm going to show you in a minute what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to create and you can probably see me walking over here. I find that since I divided up, I have a rather large stash of Bramble Fox goodies, and I'm just showing you this as an example. But I had some things that I had used a lot of the set already, or they were smaller things. So I divided them up into categories in this tray, which was like a deli tray for a party that we had one time, and I just cleaned it up. So I have things kind of divided where they're easy to find. I know that these are stars and flowers, and here I have hearts, and here I have other geometric shapes, and in the middle I have kind of miscellaneous icons. I've got an ice skating bear, or I think that's a bear, might be a squirrel. And these are summer, and so if I can apply some of that to some of these things here, like maybe put all the flair, open up all these packages and put all the flair in here and all of the wood veneer in here, and maybe all of the modern looking bright florals here, and all of the more vintagey the florals that are a little bit different. I can probably empty some of these containers, and I can see what I have a lot easier. So I'm going to do one of those I'm going to go through one of those exercises off camera, and I may in a different video show you what I ended up with. So that takes care of that one bunch of stuff. This bunch of stuff has been around for a really, really long time. I have some little envelopes here, and you know that I had envelopes in a couple of other places. I have a bunch of tags, and I have more tags and little just cards and a frame and some more clothespins, or pegs as my British friends call them. And and these things, probably most of these things go back many years, many years, long before I started doing anything with scrap, any scrap backwards stuff. So what I want to do is go through this. I'm going to say my goal is that I will keep no more than about a third of what all is in these things. And if it doesn't fit into a category, I have some other kind of off-site storage, some non-kit storage for some of these items. I'll put them back in there, so I'll have one for tags if I want to use tags, and I don't have some. My logic is, when I cut all these tags, there weren't so many tags coming in the collections, but just about every collection now has a sheet of tags that you can cut, and the colors and the theme and the sayings all kind of match what you're putting together from that collection. So, and I'm by no means espousing or suggesting that you should only use things that match. I love mixing things up, but I don't see myself using that many of these. These are actually office supply tags, and they're nice. There's a use for them, but they don't have to be front and center on my desk. I know that I have them, for example. So, having said all of that, I have a lot of work to do with embellishments. Now let's get back to papers. My friend Sharon sent me this amazing Happy Mail box with a ton of paper. And speaking of embellishments, though, let me show you. There were all of these embellishments that came. There's some wood veneer, there's some fabric stars, There's some Scrabble letters and some other goodies, just kind of things that would go with vintage pages or with modern pages. There's some fibers here and some doilies. So all of these things are going to be used, and they're going to be put in my kit. And she sent me this. This is real. It's real chicken wire. So I thought I might. I'm planning to use some of it on a page. I'm not opposed to using wire on pages at all. I will probably fold back some of the pointy edges so that they're doubled. But I thought I might cut this down and use part of it as a like a template or a mask or a stencil. And my idea is that I would ink it up and then press it on paper to make kind of a rough chicken wire look. And my first thought is to do something like put it in red ink and put it down, and then orange and then yellow, and kind of do a rainbow down the side of a page. So that's something I may play with. So I have lots of ideas there besides just, putting wire on my page. So that's more on the embellishment side. So without going through every paper, in the papers that I got from Sharon, there are some, and she gave me the great idea for, if I don't want to use them as they are, they kind of look, a lot of them look like they're kind of vintage papers. They're really thick, nice papers, and they look like they are, they're mixed media, and I could do more mixed media on top. This one right here looks like a sweater knit kind of thing. So I have this pack of papers that I plan to do mixed media on. I pulled these out, and these are ones that I probably wouldn't use as they are, but I would really look forward to doing mixed media. So I'm going to put those in I have a rack of papers, including, I have one container that has in it the mixed media foundations paper by Vicki Boutin. So I just put it in there because basically those are foundation papers. There's another set of papers that are printed, patterned craft paper, and I may not use any of the patterns, although they're interesting and nice, but I will definitely use the craft side. So I have a stack in there, that rack that I have right beside my desk, have a stack of craft papers. So those have just gone in there. I have selected, there are some, and I'm not going to show you the fronts of them, some that I decided that I probably would never use the front of. So, but they're beautiful textured papers, thick and heavy and really nice, and the backs are beautiful white textured paper. So that goes in my stack. I no longer, I had actually run down to my very last sheet of white cardstock, and now I don't need to buy any more white cardstock. So I have another stack of papers that, and I will show you these, that I've decided that I will fussy cut. I think I could get a lot of use out of them with fussy cuts. These are some beautiful, these are not the typical kind of flowers that I use on my layouts, but with a certain kind of layout, these would be absolutely beautiful. And they're printed on the paper in a way that would make them easy to fussy cut, and they're embossed. So they're shiny. So that's kind of cool. And same is true of these butterflies. These are really beautiful black and white butterflies, usable on any page. And then there are these, there are some papers that really this will go with, some of the papers that I'm going to be keeping and using as they are. But these are also fussy cuttable. They're very muted and kind of faded out and bleached in some areas, but they're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to fussy cut those. And you know how much I love leaf sprigs. And these leaf sprigs are multicolored. There are blue ones, and then there are green ones that have some leaves that are streaked in pink. So that's absolutely gorgeous. This is a floral that's printed on this kind of dusky pink background. And there's a paper in there that I'm planning to use that has a grid and then some kind of line drawn florals down at the bottom of it. I may run across it and show that to you. But I think if I fussy cut some of these, I could layer those on that paper, and I could probably use some of these as well, and some of these, and some of these. So this, by fussy cutting these 4 sheets, I give myself a whole kit along with the papers that are similar to this. I give myself a whole kit to play with and do wonderful things with. So I'm going to keep those and fussy cut them. This one has some bluebirds in some trees, and they're, some of them run into each other, might be difficult to fussy cut, but I thought I would give it a try. These are the kind of things that I love fussy cutting. And oh my God, these butterflies. These butterflies are very vintagey looking and very, and they're colored beautifully, but you can kind of see part of the wings faded. It's just a beautiful paper, and I think I can, for a certain type of page, these butterflies will be really nice. And who doesn't know that I love bees? So there are a million bees to fussy cut on here, and that gives me a good supply. And they're a little bit different tone of bee, so that if I'm doing a certain kind of page and may not want one of the bright colored cartoony looking bees, these would be perfect. And with Calvin ball in mind, frequently there's a rule that calls for clocks, so I can punch or cut these out and have all the clocks I need for Calvin ball. So this stack of papers goes into my fussy cut pile, and something else that goes in the fussy cut pile is a paper that I pulled out of the kit. It was this paper that came from Mind the Scrap, and I'm going to fussy cut all of those leaves, so that goes there too. This is the little bag of scraps, the start of the collection of scraps that I know I will use, that I have a plan to use. I know exactly what I'm going to do with this paper, and I know that this pink is going to be used to back some photos. So there's that. Now, this group of papers are ones that are more vintagey than I usually use. They could be backgrounds for mixed media, or they could be fussy cut, like I could fussy cut these globes, or, you know, some of the images from here, like this pocket watch, or this old car, the train locomotive, the schooner. And so I'm keeping them, doubting that I will use them strictly as pattern paper as they are, because it's not exactly my style. But who knows, it may inspire me to do a heritage kind of page. This one right here kind of reminds me of my mother's era when she was crossing. She grew up in Shanghai, China, and her family had homes or different parts of the world, including in the United States where their families were. And so as a kid, she crossed the Atlantic, I think 14 times, and the Pacific 17 times. And she lived in China until she was 17 or till 21, I guess. And at that point, she was, it was when the war was coming about and they had to evacuate China. But anyway, I thought this page kind of just reminded me, seeing the ship and the train, all and the, all of the and the balloons, everything here just reminds me of her life and her voyage, and I'm using that in the universal sense. So I might do a page about my mom and her background, and I've got some good photos of her and her family. My brother gave me a huge box of photos that might really call for some of these vintagey looking papers. So I'm not going to put these in my scrap backwards kit. They instead are going to go in my, I'm going to put them with that batch of photos that my brother gave me. So that goes somewhere else. These are the papers that I'm going to put in the scrap backwards kit. And I'll just kind of briefly go through. I'm not going to show you the ones I'm keeping from before because you've already seen those. But these are some that I really like. I don't know why I like this little print. It's like little bow ties or something. And I have had the collection that comes from. I forget what it is. But also this paper, which I envision cutting into strips, and this navy blue background with the pretty polka dots. And this I also see being cut into strips. This page I think I might cut out all of those circles, so that may end up getting fussy cut. These flowers, I know from experience, are difficult, if not impossible, to fussy cut in any attractive way, so I would use that paper as it is on a page. I love this paper because it has a year, a calendar on it, and I can embellish with some or put small photos, kind of do it almost as a journal. And I thought I might do a 2023 page with my favorite scrapbook page from that from each of these months. I don't know, maybe might be fun. And what gave me the idea to do that was here's that paper I was telling you about that has the kind of line drawn flowers, and I was thinking about doing something taller. I'm not sure that those ones I saw would work, but I want to do something with this. I love this, and I love the grid paper. This is just the most unusual paper I think I've ever seen. I love the teal and the wash of a lighter teal over the darker teal, and then the little orange spots in the middle of all of those squares or diamonds, however you look at those. Just absolutely striking, really beautiful. Here's another page that I would cut in strips and do something fun. Black and white dot, you just can't get enough of. This is like sprinkles on ice cream. It's just so cute. And then a green kind of an iron gate type pattern. I love this and would probably use it just exactly as it is. But what's funny to me is it came from a pad, but they ran the design all the way up on the tab of the pad, because I think that's longer than 12 inches. So I'll have to cut some of that design off, and I hate that. You know how I hate wasting flowers. this stripe is gorgeous, and I don't know, I wonder if I could if I fussy cut that and fussy cut that and put it on this stripe and then did some black, I don't know, it's just gorgeous. This, I've never seen a pattern like that, but can't you imagine Vicki Boutin doing something like that in one of her collections? And then this also looks like a Vicki Boutin paper. This is beautiful. I think I have tried fussy cutting this before. You almost have to cut a huge cluster, which I'm not opposed to doing, but I thought I might do some work on that. Here's some cut apart papers that go, or cut apart cards that go with a lot of those designs. Love, love, love that. Can use it a million times over. And this is a background paper that to me reads as a solid, so I can use that just as it is. This group of papers had some patterns, and I didn't care for the patterns, so those are going to be used. The white side of those will be used, but the dots, the plaids, and the stripes, definitely love the colors there. This is another, you know, those embellishments I showed you that have kind of the muted golds and pinks. These are the papers that I think go with those and that I would use those on. And I think I could use all of these with those embellishments if I wanted a muted palette. I've got embellishments and papers. This is just beautiful. I love leaf patterns, and this reminds me a lot of the landscape in Louisiana. It looks like it's a watery, there's an area near where my sister lives. It's the factory where they make Tabasco sauce in Avery Island, Louisiana. And it's right down the road from where Patrice lives. And we went on a tour there, and you get to kind of drive through the grounds, and there are alligators in ponds and all kinds of fun things. But it's kind of grown up and developed over, you know, years. I went there when I was in elementary school, I think, on a school trip. So it's been around that long. And so it just, this reminds me of that. So if I have some photos like that taken in a very lush landscape, this would be a good paper to use either as a background or as an accent. And maybe I could do some white gesso across the center of it where my photo cluster was going to be, and then just let the background live around, kind of frame the photo. So that's my idea for that. And who doesn't love just a nice gray plaid? Here's another one of those leaf patterns in different colors. This is a couple different shades of light green with some white. And some basic gray papers, these cute little birds. There's a line of them that are upside down and a line that are right side up. Not quite sure what that is, but I'd probably cut a line or, but there are two sheets of that, and I just love it. And then there's this, and there are two sheets of this, which is from that paper, let's see, is from the Basic Gray collection, Urban Prairie. And this is the paper called Meadow. And this one is from Boxer, and the paper is called Fedora. And this is absolutely gorgeous. And again, I would probably gesso out an area and let that frame something in there. A nice gray stripe that has this beautiful blue leaf pattern on the other side. And I may try my hand at fussy cutting some of these because I love trailing foliage, so that would be good. And then a nice kind of a bluish gray plaid. This is amazing, and I, again, would probably gesso out an area and do a landscape, a photo cluster, and maybe do some strips of something bright on there, like a hot pink or something, and kind of let this, kind of do a travel page that had all of these um, um, passport stamps. And then there's this stripe. I doubt that I would ever use that side, but I do like the stripe that has a nice, this is a good masculine stripe that I could use for documenting army stuff. There's a nice strip of army green in there. And my guess is that Sharon, when she was going through these papers, probably thought that same thing. Ooh, that'll go with army green. and so she's just such a thoughtful person, and she knows me so well. So these go in my kit, and they'll be right there with, and my kit has a lot of Pink Fresh stuff from the box, the warehouse box. And then I brought in some Paige Evans from a couple or 3 different collections, just to have some bright colors and some fussy cuttable pages. And then there are some miscellaneous things. Oh, these 2 letter scramble box. I put in the sticker sheets these sticker sheets that I've been working on for months. And I will probably add a couple more just to have a little bit more of a variety. But I do not need these alphas. These can go with the alphas. And so those will go separate. So right now, my kit kind of looks like this. I will take, as I sort through the embellishments, there will be some that will go in the purple container and some that will stand up. And so I have room, for example, for a box to slide in there and another one to slide in here, and I'll populate them with things that I think I can use quickly. And then I have done, I've got a way that I can do one of the boxes across here by putting a bolster down, in there. So I may do that. So we'll see where I end up with that, and I will maybe show you that in another month or so, after I've kind of been using the kit and have had a chance to go through all those embellishments. So I thank you for watching, and I will start creating with this. I'm publishing this on February 1st. I'll start creating with it. There will be quite a few February posts that will not use this kit, because I made those videos before I did this refresh video, or before I refreshed the kit. And so I'll start using it immediately, but you may not see the videos for a while, and some of the videos you'll see will be using other collections or other versions of the kit. So I thank you for watching, and I look forward to scrapping backwards and killing my kit with style. I'm going to fully participate in How to Kill a Kit with Style, which is a great group, and there are going to be some challenges and some I've participated a few years back, and I haven't been good about getting back to it. It's one of those things that I like, and I'm choosing some of the things I used to do that I kind of let go by the wayside, and I'm going to get back into those things, and How to Kill a Kit with Style is one of those. So I thank you for watching. See you next time. See you when I see you. How's that?